I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Memories of Us. Today, we have this amazing guest. He's a very inspirational guy since the first time I met him. He's a brother from another mother. He's the host of Unarmored Talks. And he's an entrepreneur, philanthropist, traveler, you name it, this man does it. He's just an all around guy. But the most important part, man, is that he's a vet with an amazing story. And today, he's decided to bless us with his story today. And I want to welcome Mario P. Fields. Mario, how you doing, my brother?
Hey Tony, I am doing great, and I truly appreciate you having me on your show. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't subscribed, rated, a review with a 5 star to this amazing podcast, you're behind. Get all there and get that rating on Tony's podcast.
Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, brother. And I want to say thank you for your service and happy late Memorial Day to you and everything. And you know, I want to go ahead and jump on into this, man, because I think your story is so amazing, and I know I can never do it justice trying to go behind you, man. So I just want to hand it over to you, Mario. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother. Tell the people about you.
Thanks, Tony. A little bit about me. I did 26 years, United States Marine Corps. I retired as a sergeant major. And before that journey, I was raised in Pontiac, Michigan, the third of four siblings. And then speeding up, I'm been married to my wife. She's a Navy veteran for over 26 years, and we have two adult children. One is 25. That's my daughter. She turns 26 here soon. And then my son's 24. He's a Christmas baby.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
but but yeah, yeah. But two wonderful children. And then after my Marine Corps journey, I became a philanthropist and an entrepreneur. On the nonprofit side, I am the founder and president of a nonprofit called Still Serving Incorporated, 501c3, tax ID 501c3, and what we do is create opportunities and improve the career opportunities and academic achievement for K through 12 students in Title I schools throughout the United States. And on the for-profit side, I am the co-founder and CEO of a speakers bureau called Global Inspirational Speakers.
Mm.
And then within that speakers bureau, I'm a podcast producer and host, like you said, Tony, for Unarmored Talk podcast. So that's a little bit about Mario P. Fields, right? Me, and I hope that's enough for you at this moment.
Oh yeah, and when the episode is over or while the episode's going, the links will be down below. So I would encourage people to reach out to him. This man has a wealth of knowledge, and he's just somebody that you really just want to know, man. His energy just through everything. He's just been, he inspires me. So he he definitely inspires me,
I,
man.
I think I and Tony, I think it's because I'm 5'2" and have a deep voice. That's pretty unique.
I think you know what I think that is, man. But you're a very unique person yourself, man. So diving into your journey, man. Tell people how you got to where you are because you have a special type of PTSD, and it's something that when you told me about it, I was like, wow, But tell people how you got there because you did a couple tours, right?
Yeah. So I deployed to a lot of places, and people can go on my LinkedIn profile and look at all the countries I've deployed to. But as far as in combat zones, it was Iraq and Afghanistan were the two major combat zones that I deployed to.
Mm,
But PTSD. So every individual they have their own challenges, and they're unique to that person.
mhm.
I believe no one has the same challenges, maybe similar challenges, but not the same. So I can only talk for mine,
Right.
and and what I did, which I did not know would harm me mentally in the future today, is for years. I probably for 15 years I developed this mindset of if I'm doing something in the Marine Corps that increases the probability of me dying, what I need to do is before I get on the plane or get on the helicopter or before combat. But what I need to do is I need to mentally make myself dead, right? I used to mentally say, I no longer exist. I'm no longer my wife's husband. She's a widow. My children have a new father. My mom and dad are telling stories at family reunions about Mario, right? About me. And I would convince myself that I was dead. And therefore, when I would get on that helicopter or I would get ready to deploy, the fear of death for me was gone. And and it allowed me not to worry about the what if.
Right.
So that was my way of remaining calm, remaining in a position, having a mindset where I'm not worried about home. There's no barriers, there's no distractions. It's just what's in front of me, what's the mission, and if the helicopter goes in the water, you're right, we get shot down or I get blown up, so be it. So that mindset, although it benefited me as far as being calm and not worrying about the family and home.
Mm.
I'm now I'm living with the results of that today.
Wow. Wow. I mean, when you told me
Yeah,
this the first time, man, I was like, wow, that is truly unique because I've heard people say that they had to put themselves in a different mindset, but to take you out of the picture, I mean, just
yeah,
in its totality, that's a
yeah.
strong mental um yeah, that's just a strong mental barrier that most people don't even understand. And for you to develop something like that, wow, because I understand, you're in a combat, you can't have these outside interferences, interfering with what you're trying to do in-house. And what I mean by in-house, you're trying to go in there, clean house, right? And
Yeah.
it's a dangerous position that you're in, being out there in combat, and because these things do happen, the possibilities of you're not making it is
Right.
the probabilities are high. And just to look at you now, I'm like, man, this is a calm dude right here, man. And I can only imagine you being out there and just look around like, yeah, no matter what, I'm good. I mean, how was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it had to make you a very efficient soldier, right? Now moving through
Yeah.
that, you had
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Right. And I'm also clinically diagnosed with ADHD. So my mental illness, some people go, I have ADHD, but they haven't been clinically diagnosed. So for me to be calm and linear it takes a lot of effort.
Right.
so,
Oh yeah.
so, now that I have this mental illness called ADHD, which naturally makes me very energetic, right? Can't focus all over the place. um, I was able to contain that with coffee, lots of coffee, and of course, not worry about home. But I'll tell you, Tony, what I believe would also happen is it caused me to go into this state of grieving over my own death
Mm,
for years. And when I went to my psychologist, when I did my final VA, right, Veterans Affairs medical appointments for my disability.
mhm.
I told the psychologist, I said, I don't know why I'm so sad. Like I could cry over anything, watching TV, just see a kid get diagnosed with cancer on a show. We know it's just a show, man. I'll be like want to cry, and or a helicopter flies over and I look up and just sad. Or oh man, Alice in Chains, I think was the group. Hey, here comes the rooster. That song
Oh
popped
yeah.
on one day. I was crying. Yeah,
Here comes the
and I'm
rooster.
like driving out. Yeah, yeah. It's like when I'm Vietnam, during that era. I was just flicking through the stations, man, and it's like and I started thinking about the Vietnam vets and I'm crying for them and I'm
Mm,
driving down the road as a sergeant major. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why do I cry? Why am I always sad? Like,
yeah.
why do I cry? I love life. And It was when I went to the psychologist 2 years ago. She said, Sergeant Major, that's called depression. She's like, when you're depressed, that makes you sad.
Right.
And for you, you've been depressed since you started to remove yourself from this world mentally. So essentially, you're almost like you're grieving on your own death, but you're alive.
Wow. Now, see,
Yeah.
when we talk about grieving, that's like right up my alley. And it never surprises me the different areas. Now, this is unique. I mean, you grieve your own death, and yet you're alive because of the mental
Right.
training that you put yourself through to become the man that you were at that moment. That is interesting.
Yeah. And Tony, I found myself, I didn't realize this until my wife pointed it out. I would be like, hey, babe, when I retire, what kind do you want to go back to the house we own in North Carolina? You want to buy a new house? And then after that, after she would answer that, I would say, is this the place you are okay with living alone in, when I die? And she would just be like, why do you talk like that? I would like him, I would have like a little journal like this.
Hmm.
And in the journal, I would put every password account, right, title of the account, the password, and I would tell her that here's where this is at, and this has everything in case I die. And she would go, okay, but why do you have to do it in the event of your death? And
Right.
I was doing that for years. Like everything I would do when I would wake up, it was designed so she can continue to live without me. And that
Now,
was part of it.
wow. Because subconsciously you were still in that mode, right? And so I get that,
Hmm.
yeah, it's like having a backup plan for a plan, just in case something happens, here it goes. But I mean, wow, it's just like you've been in that mindset for quite some time, right? That it's normal for you.
Yeah.
And I'm really starting to
Yeah.
understand that, right? You know what I'm saying? The normality of where Mario P. Fields has come from and the reality that you live in. Like, you know what? I'm still this person, but just in case, and to me that's this is wow, that's intriguing. It's really intriguing because it makes me want to dive deeper into who Mario is. I mean, you're not getting rid of me, just so you know. You-
And likewise, man.
yeah, you're not getting rid of me, brother. We got work to do, but
We do.
so moving forward past that, now you seeing a therapist, and you got ADHD, and you've managed to put that in check. But now you have this thing that has manifested itself, and in Mario, in your thinking. Now, going through all the combat, having that mindset. We already know the long-term damage, or long-term effects. I don't like using damage because there's nothing damaged about you. It's just that
Right.
the way that you had to train yourself, and I get that survival. Like if something happens, I can't worry about this. Now, coming out of that, and doing the things now, do you find different challenges in the things that you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. Yeah. I think about death maybe 10 times or more a day.
Okay.
So the challenge is I can be cutting the grass and happy as heck. And then out of nowhere, it'll be like, why are you doing this? This is all not real. Just stop. Just go, you're gonna go. Or I could be at a birthday party and we're singing happy birthday to a child or whatever. And then out of nowhere, it'll be like, well, the child's gonna die. So why are we even doing this?
Mm.
Yeah. So that occurs daily. Um, the depression, I probably, I can't, you don't see it coming. So it's not like every third Friday I get depressed.
We know that's not how that works, man. That's not how that works at all. It'll
It
sneak
just,
up, yeah, it'll come up and punch you right in the neck. Soon as you thinking
oh,
that you're doing good, boom. Oh man.
Tony,
Yeah, oh
it
man.
just comes out of nowhere to the point where I'm like, I'm on the couch and I don't want to move.
Wow.
Like I just want to close down the companies. I just want to stop. Like I don't want to do anything. And my wife would be like, "Mark, get off the couch." But
Mm,
the key is I'm aware. I have self awareness,
right.
and I don't I don't run from it. I'm open about it, and that's what my doctor said is you're open about it. And I call the mouth the garage door, right? I keep the toxins coming out of the garage door, and I don't
Right.
shut the door with the car running. But but yeah, so that's some of my daily challenges is waking up going, man, is this dang depression gonna roll in?
Oh
When is
man.
it going and checking the mailbox and waving at your neighbor, and you're just so happy, and then out of nowhere it's like, "Man, he's gonna die, you're gonna go. So make sure your landscape is set for after
Yeah.
you." Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now you
Yep.
you had said something, and it's a topic that's a huge topic right now that's going around the world. Mental health, and you did mention your mental health. You know,
Hmm.
and you're so aware of it, and to me that's a beautiful thing when a person is aware of the mental well-being and what's required. Now let's talk a little bit about your mental health. All right. Because I think a lot of people out there should hear these conversations about mental health, because we we have to do something better. We have to bring more awareness. And maybe if more people become like yourself, more self-aware of what's going on, maybe we can start getting the support, the necessary support for those individuals and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about that, Mr. Mario.
Yeah. So in my household, my son, he's bipolar schizoaffective. My wife suffers from general anxiety disorder. I have PTSD, ADHD's in my household, OCD, just in my household.
Mm,
And what I've learned with my own adult son is, and in myself as well, is you have to gain a better understanding of what it is. And people have to understand that people don't wake up and go, man, let me go to the store and get me a pound of schizo.
right, right.
Yeah. Amazon's having a sale, man. I need, you know what? I need 2 quarts of ADHD.
Mm.
Yep.
It's
And then
like
you
we
know what? And while you're out there, give me some depression. I really need that tonight for dinner.
I love it. I love how you interject humor in it, man. But it's a reality that as human beings, as men, it's one that we have to get a handle on. We
Yeah,
definitely
we
got to get a handle on it.
it is this thing called pride.
Oh man.
We so to increase awareness, you hear all of the, increase awareness, but it starts with the person in the mirror. They may have it. And a lot of times I see people pointing the finger outward, but they don't ask themselves the questions. Do you even understand what it
Right.
is?
Oh my God.
Do you really have you taken the effort to understand why is that person behaving that way? And they may not even want to behave that way. They might not even know that their behavior is a departure from what people may call the norm.
Yeah.
Um, because one thing I found with any type of mental illness, it has the potential to push you into the insane quadrant without you even knowing.
Mm.
And you bounce back and forth between insanity and sanity like a spark plug in a car engine.
Oh man. I love that analogy right there because it makes perfect sense. And when we start going down that path, man, that the different levels that people are so unaware of, and I know you going around doing the things that you're doing, you see all types, right, from every walk of it. And so what are some of the most common ones that you've noticed, just within your parameters?
There's a lot. I mean, with my last assignment before I retired, I was at Wounded Warrior Battalion West in Camp Pendleton, California, and that's where we take we caretake for any sick, ill, and injured Marine or sailor assigned to Marines in the Western Hemisphere. It's so complex. So what I did is I had about 150 to 180 Marines and sailors on our rolls. And what I used to do is I would look at every single person individually. So there's no common thread, um, because there's so many, and
Right.
it's so complex. Because you may have ADHD, but it may impact you it's differently than it does me.
Right.
Right, where you could probably read a book up to 5 chapters and then you're outside playing basketball, where I read chapter one and I'm already downstairs vacuuming the living room. Um, I read my first full book in my 40s. So
Wow.
Tony, it's complex, and what I saw and witnessed is, one, it's invisible. So a lot of people look at you and they go, "You're healthy, you look young, like, you're 6 foot or you're whatever." And but what they don't know is you may have these invisible injuries that are just as severe as an external one.
Yeah.
But they don't take the effort to understand what is the injury, the illness, or the sickness. So very complex, a lot of different diagnoses, and even the ones that were similar, it impacted the individual differently than others. So I never kind of categorized,
Yeah.
because it's just very complex.
No, I definitely understand that, and I think that's what makes everything unique is the complexity of it and being able to dive deeper into it. Because you touched on a few things, the mental health, the PTSD. You touched on grieving yourself after after going through all of that, and still, having pieces of that still fluctuating throughout your life, but being more aware of it and is the key to it, and the individuality, because we pretty much we go down the same lines, man, when we talk about peeling back things. And that's what I like to call. I was telling someone not too long ago, on a speech. I said, when you think about the different layers when it comes down to grief, right, and the multitude of facets that help weave that. Once you start pulling that away and get rid of the proverbial illusions and get down to the core of it, you start to realize that, this individual, this is the way it affects them. This is the way it looks like in this person. And it's just mind blowing, right? It's just so mind blowing. And I've talked to a few veterans, but and everybody's different. I talked to a lot of homeless veterans and stuff like that. I'm trying to do my part to try to help them out as well, because I have a problem with someone giving their pieces of their life to make sure that I had freedom, and we can't even get them a
Yeah.
meal. We can't get them off the streets. Come on, man. Like, to me, that's unacceptable. That's truly, truly unacceptable. And and now I got this amazing person in front of me, such a inspiration. And so, starting businesses and things like that, did you find challenges, and things like that as you started to become an entrepreneur and a philanthropist? How did everything kind of tie itself in to that aspect of it?
No, great. Yeah. So, no, Tony, thanks for asking. I have Christian beliefs, right?
Hmm.
And this was not my plan. My plan wasn't to go to Florida and enjoy life, but for me, the good Lord's like, yeah, all right, well, that ain't my plan for you. So, what ended up happening is through prayer, through meditation, through faith, I realized that the gifts that I had I wasn't using them for others like I should be after I retired. And that's what inspired and motivated me to create the nonprofit, and then the for-profit company. I actually did not want to create the for-profit company. I actually fought the lawyer, my wife, not physically, but the lawyer, my wife, they were like, yeah, I mean, I did for 4 months. And so it was like, oh, we knew you would do, yeah, like, no, you didn't. You're like, you can't get out of here. You can't predict. You can only imagine the future. You can predict, but good luck.
Well,
But
talking to
imagination
you,
is
I was
powerful.
talking to you. I'm like, if you put your mind to something and you already said it, something tells me that it's going to sit right there until you do it. So do it surprise me?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all, because you seem like that type of person. Like, I'm going to do it. Now I'm not going to do it. Then you tell everybody, no, I'm not going to do it. But you've already put it out there. So it's already in the back of your mind. And so I can only imagine. Oh, you froze up on me, brother. Oh, are we going? Okay. Oh, there you are. There you are. So where did I lose you at? Oh, okay. Where did I lose you at?
Tony, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you still hear me? I can hear you, but you froze, I think. Yeah. Oh, come on, Zoom. Okay, there you are. The internet is doing its own thing right now, man. Zoom is like kind of got its own thing going on.
No worries.
All right, so where did you lose me at?
You were kind of talking about the thought being put in my head.
Oh yeah, yeah. To have those thoughts already, already there. It's like, you couldn't, like, I've just recently met you, and I'm already going, yeah. As soon as you said that, I was just going, I bet you did it.
But you
Because you seem like that type of individual, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's there, and now it's on your heart.
but
And
the crazy thing, Tony, is they put it there. It wasn't I woke up, man, and I was like, I want to create a speakers bureau. Because building a lot of folks, creating a nonprofit from scratch and in leading and managing it takes a lot of effort because it's administratively tasking. So once I got through the first, 6, 7 months, I said, man, I'm not doing this again. So when the lawyer in Orange County, God bless her, when the lawyer, my wife, she's like, yeah, you need to create another company. I'm like, I'm sitting there, Tony. I wish I had a cigar and some bourbon, because I would be sitting there going, well, it's easy for you to say, man, and then my wife, of course, that's my wife. That's the commanding general. So she was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you need to do it. I'm like, yes, ma'am. 4 months later, she's like, so where's the company? I'm like, it's Christmas time. We're broke. She goes, no lie, this really happened. She goes, here's my credit card. Merry Christmas.
Whoa.
And incorporated that company on December the 18th of 2018. I'm sorry, December 21st. Yeah, man.
Oh man.
So the Speakers Bureau,
Yeah.
is the vision and thought that was put in my head by the lawyer and my lovely bride, who's the president.
Okay. Now tell us about your company, the Speakers Bureau.
Yeah. So Global Inspirational Speakers, we built it to be an inspirational speakers bureau, and we're very selective of who we represent. And what I mean by who, non-exclusive speakers, and we're very, very selective because you have to be inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we offer, services for clients and speakers to negotiate contracts, to provide that legal umbrella. And when I say negotiate contract, negotiate the fees, the speaker fees, and that way the speaker doesn't have to do that.
Okay.
So that's what we do. So client A is looking for a keynote speaker. They can come to us. We can negotiate, the fees and everything, and then and then do the contracts for commission. But what we're actually doing right now is we're pivoting to provide consulting and coaching to government contracts only in the future. So
Okay.
we want to create jobs. So we're slowly getting out of the speakers bureau representing non-exclusive speakers and moving towards creating jobs by winning contracts in the government sector.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how's that? I don't want you to
Yeah.
get away too much. How's that coming along so far? Everything's still falling into place because you're well established, and I can only imagine people just hear it and be like, "Oh, Mario, yeah, well, yeah, he's somebody that you need to know."
It's good. It's coming along great. I mean, it takes time, but
Yeah.
we got the we got the cage code. You need a cage code to be able to process transactions, monetary transactions between a private organization and a government entity. So we got that approved, and we've successfully have successfully negotiated and done business with government entities. So
Okay.
we got that checked in the box. Next is the disabled veteran-owned business certification.
Mm-hmm.
So they require about 3 years of tax returns. We just got our third year of tax returns. So now we're in the process of getting our disabled veteran-owned business certification.
Okay.
And so once we get that, then we'll start partnering up with other um, organizations that have history with preparing proposals for government contracts, and we call it teaming. And then we'll start putting some bids out there, some proposals to hopefully win contracts starting next year.
Nice, very nice. People, y'all keep your eyes open for Mario, man. Make sure you're watching my page. And if you haven't followed Mario, follow him to keep up to date on the things that he's doing. Follow him on LinkedIn. And don't forget, what I'm saying, we're going to have all this stuff down below. But, and I'm just putting that out there so people be mindful that it is going to be down there because I want them to stay with you, what I'm saying, and follow your work that you're doing because I think that's amazing. And to have a nonprofit. So we you touched a little bit about the struggles of starting a nonprofit. Trust me, I know about that too. It's a lot of work, man. A lot of work that goes into it. Now, about the work that you do with your nonprofit. Tell people about that as well.
Yes, so Still Serving Incorporated is designed to create partnerships with educators and industry experts and link them with students. So we're about 80% of what we do in our nonprofit is to build partnerships. So right now we have our beta school, our one adopted school. It's called Innovation Early College High School out of Greenville, North Carolina. We've been
Okay.
with them for 3 years. And then we have 5 major economic sectors or career pathways that we create partnerships with for those students. So right now we just partnered with a company called Away2,
Okay.
a wonderful company. You guys go on the website and click on that that logo, and that partnership is going to create career exploration resources for all students in our school next year. What that means, a student will on their iPhone will be able to fill out this survey, simple survey, man, and it will create a career pathway on what that student may be strong at. Skilled trades, human services, technology, business, financial sector. Doesn't stop there. Then what it'll do is it will tie into local schools and businesses and show that student live opportunities with local businesses and schools and certification programs within that pathway. And like I said, that could be skilled trades, and it'll show them companies that are looking to hire students in skilled trades. And then last but not least, Tony, is to create internships, apprenticeships, with local companies and give these students, right? Give these students, Title I students, by the way, we only look for underserved communities. You must be a Title I school, but to create opportunities for these students in these underserved communities to make our nation better in the future because of the amount of time and investment we put in our youth in
Mm.
underserved communities, man.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys, his website will be, his information will be on my website as well. So if you guys get the chance to, if you go to the website, we're going to be revamping it real soon. Got some really good stuff coming for you. His information will be there if you do not catch it in the link below. So make sure that you're staying on top of it. And if it's something that you want to back, by all means, go there, find the information, and support your local nonprofits, and support your international nonprofits as well. Yeah, but Mario does something else too, man. And like I say, he's an all-around guy, man. And so he hosts a podcast called Unarmored Talks. And I want to give a description of it, but I don't think I would do it as much justice as Mario will. Mario, tell us about the podcast, man. Because I've already caught some of the episodes, and that information will be down below as well. Tell everybody about Unarmored Talks, man.
Tony, I said someone's got to dethrone Oprah. I think you're it. So I'll make sure.
I always appreciate that, man. It's so it's humbling, man. To be, and to have someone like yourself to speak about me like that. That's very humbling, because I think sometimes I never really I never really look at myself that way. I'm just Tony. I'm just a Tony. I'm just a person I hear just like yourself. I want to make a difference in someone else's life, right? And we have these beautiful platforms and everything. And yours is very, very unique, because as you say, people come on and they come unarmored. So yeah, tell people about it, man.
Yeah, so Unarmored Talk took us 7 months to develop it. They had a wonderful team, Jerry Washington, my communication strategist, and Zeke Malata, he's our business strategist, and Anna Summer, chief editor. My wife, Knucklehead Media Group. I mean, just a group of wonderful people who said, Mario, all right, you got a vision, but it's horrible the way you want to do it. Not horrible. But let us help you. Because I tell you, Tony, if I would have did it if we wouldn't even be talking about a podcast today, because man, I tell you, I was like, oh, I want to do a podcast, real talk from the streets. Yeah, man. That's why you got to have a team, and you got to be aware of your emotions.
I'm still working on putting the team together. So far I got good people in my corner, and just so happen is that they've stuck with me, just like yourself. I mean, and I had to do a lot of the footwork myself, which I didn't mind, because I wanted to understand the inner workings of how everything was. And I had this vision, and I was going, if I stay true to the vision, it'll take me right where I need to be, right? Yeah, man. I started on that vision, and it went this way, it went that way, went upside down, looped around. And I'm going, okay, I don't even know why I'm still doing this anymore. It was just one of those things. And somebody told me, Tony, you got to get a team. I was like, if I can get people that I can have around me that that can actually, that want to do it, and what I found out, my biggest struggle when I was trying to put together a team, or still attempting to, was that no one wanted to do the work. Like, it sounded good. So everything ended up falling back on me anyway. So I went, you know what? I had to start over from scratch. We got to go about this a different way. So it was figuring it out. I didn't have anyone in there to tell me that, Tony, this is a bad idea, right? It's like more, when I said it, everybody's like, that's a great idea. I'm like, okay, well, let's see how it works, right? I didn't have anyone tell me that it was a bad idea. And, I really wish I had somebody, to come in and go, hey, I see you doing it this way. How about we try a little bit right here? Like when we first met, you came to me, it's like, hey, the only, can I give you some advice? I wish I had that, right? And so that meant
Right.
a lot to me because I went, you know what, somebody that actually gets it. I don't have all the answers, and
Yeah.
I'm still learning this walk. I'm still learning this
Absolutely.
process, man. And I'm my dream is to put together a dream team. People that can keep me in check because Tony get a little, I'm not gonna say I have ADHD. I'm just gonna say I have a real fast mind, right? I'm always 20 steps ahead in
But
30 different directions, man. And I'm going, okay, I gotta slow down. But I'm still in the processes of doing that. So now, tell people about the guests that you have on your show.
yeah, yeah. So Unarmored Talk is designed and you said it, Tony, to bring guests on to remove their armor, to talk about a challenge, right? A thing that occurred while living, and
Mhm.
how they were able to be aware of the emotions and feelings, but they didn't make an emotional decision. They
Mhm.
thought through it, which thinking is a choice.
Right.
We're emotional beings, but you have to think through things. So I bring them on and talk about a variety of personal professional challenges, and how they increase the potential outcome of these challenges by thinking,
Mm.
and not just, you punch me in the face and punch it back. That's an emotional response, and it decreases the potential outcome of that situation.
Very true.
Where now someone hits you in the face, you go, well, let me think through this. Is it worth me hitting them back? Why did they hit me? So an armored talk helps you develop more accurate way of thinking.
Okay, like a more mindful, cognitive way of thinking about things. I just developed a course called "Make Better Choices." So similar, very very similar. People that come through the course are people
Yeah.
who deserves a second chance from a reaction from something that happened, right? So they go through the course, they have to, actually go back in a situation to go, in this moment, now that you're outside of it, what would you have
Right.
changed differently? And I tell people all the
Yeah.
time, when you learn how to respond, instead of having an emotional reaction to something, it changes the outcome, right? Because
Yep.
when people do things to get a reaction out of you, if you give them that reaction, it kind of trickles down. We know this, we've seen it just spread out all over the place. But when you can have a more logical response and go, you know what? I can't control what's going on. I can't control this individual, but I can control this moment, and I have to make a decision. And I just think that's amazing because I did check out a few of your episodes, and I'm still getting caught up on them. Man, you got a lot of episodes. We have to talk about this. But like yourself, man, throwing the headphones, and or either I have it on my speaker while I'm working out. I'm just listening to everything, and I find that intriguing, man, about you, because it's like, man, there's no limit to what this guy can do, right? And listen to those. And I remember an episode that you had on, and I think we talked about it one time before, and I just touch a little bit touch a little bit about it being a black man, a transgender transgender black man in America today.
Bisexual. Jay Pruitt.
Bisect.
He was bisexual. Being bisexual as a black man growing up, in the predominantly black community.
See, he's going to kill me. Don't tell him I said that, though. Yeah, and I thought that was amazing because you brought some realities out, man. And I'm telling you, man, if you have not checked out Mario's podcast, check it out. He has some amazing content up there, things that you think about on a daily basis, but probably don't have an idea how to go about addressing it. Check out his podcast, man. He has a multitude of people up there addressing a multitude of things, and you're going to find that one thing that you can relate to, and you're going to take, like with everything that I've seen that Mario do, you're going to take something away from that. You're going to, if not more, better understanding, more, becoming more self-aware, and going, oh man, I remember this. He makes you want to dive deep into him with him, man. And I love that about him, because it's just like, wow, you just I can't say enough good things about this gentleman. Now, you
Not
know,
truly. I truly appreciate it, Tony. I'm going to give you the same when I host you on our so get ready.
I got you, man. Like I said, and you know, people, look out for the future, because we got some things coming up, and you know, got some work that we're going to be doing in the future, hopefully, and yeah, man. So, if you had something that you can tell the audience about your journey, about getting to where you are and starting, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would tell them self-awareness. You know, I believe everything starts and stops with you. And you have to really put some effort into understanding and learning and getting to know you.
Mm,
You know, your biases, your beliefs, challenge your beliefs, you know, but you got to really focus on you. Self-awareness is I believe is key to growing both personally and professionally, and changing. We change every second of the day.
mhm.
So you have to be aware that you're not the same person as of, this morning, right? Because every second of the day you change,
Yeah.
and being aware of that, and how to make yourself better, right? And how to develop beliefs and behaviors that are not a detriment to the advancement of mankind. That's what I would leave listeners and viewers. Um, Period.
Nice, man. Very, very nice. Now, you know, just I know we've been sharing your information throughout the podcast, and everything. So give everybody your information, that they can get in contact with you, with your website, and you know what you're willing to share, so people know how to get in contact with you, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
know how to
So
reach out
believe
to
it or
you.
not, you can. Yeah, believe it or not, you could put Mario P. Fields in any search engine, and I will come up. And that's LinkedIn, YouTube, Still Serving Incorporated, and global. But the best way to follow me is my LinkedIn profile, and then my YouTube channel, Mario P. Fields, YouTube. But you can find everything between my LinkedIn profile and my YouTube channel.
Okay, okay. Now, man, I want to dive so much into it, but I want to respect your time as well. And so, you know, Mario, I want to ask, man, would you be willing to come back on the shows at a later date, man, and you know, kind of share more of your journey? Because I know we didn't touch into the actual um, military life, combat life. And everything, because I think that those stories right there, especially for our veterans out there, and I want to have you back on if
I was
you
at
if
Yes Tony when
he
yeah, I
said
was
I
at
was.
Yes Tony when you started.
Yeah, and you know, I want to have you back on, man. I want to have you back on so we could talk about, you know, get more into veteran support. And the reason why I'm saying that, is something that me and Mario talked about a while ago. We're thinking about putting a veteran section on the nonprofit. I want Mario, because with his expertise, man, to kind of, well, not kind of, I need his help to kind of build it to be more supportive of our veterans out there. So you guys keep hold of that, right? You know, and keep that in mind, especially for our veterans. And you know, if you have anything to say to a veteran out there right now, you know, what would you tell them, brother?
What's that, Tony? I missed the question. I
You was deep in thought. I said, if you had anything to say to some veterans out there right now, what would be your words to them, brother?
No, no worries. It was the internet connection. Um, for veterans, my advice would be, you know, again, don't keep everything inside. Right? That is not healthy. So work on, work on, and I don't care if it's at a VFW post or the psychologist or your friend. Work on opening the garage door, call it your mouth, right?
Hmm.
And getting those toxins. Those, some people call them demons. I mean, everyone has their own different, adjective, if you will, for what's inside. But don't keep it bottled in, because if you do, eventually it's going to take over your life, and it may make you become insane or make a decision that you can't you can't fix,
Right.
and which also could be suicide. So just be open, be aware of your pride and your emotions, and have the courage to go, you know what, I got issues, you right? And what does that mean? Here's my issues. And I'm not looking for anyone to judge me or whatever. I just want you to listen to me so I can get this out of my system, if not a daily basis, at least weekly or monthly.
Nice, very nice. And that's some real strong words right there, coming from a real strong individual. So to the vets out there, listen to the show, man. Reach out, you know, reach out to Mario, and get the necessary help and support that you need to become more aware of what you are, to become better and or a more productive member in society. And we got resources out there for you fellas, to help you get off the streets, to get you guys some real help from real veterans, from that they actually been there with you guys. And and I just want to support that more and more, and I can't stress that enough. Now, with that being said, Mario, we can go all day long, brother. We can definitely go all day long. And I want to say, man, to everybody out there, man, I want to say, first and foremost, Mario, thank you for being on the show and letting down your armor, brother. Yeah, and sharing this amazing journey, and giving so many different aspects to PTSD, and bringing this awareness to ADHD and all the different things that go along with it. And, with that being said, man, thank you for being on the show. And I look forward to being on your show. I look forward to the future collaboration work that we'll be doing. I look forward to all of these things, man. And to anyone out there listening right now, I want to say thank you for being a part of it, and sharing this journey with us. And if you have any questions, you can find you're going to find his information on my website, on my social media handles. Reach out to him. And you'll also see it on my website as well, as soon as we get done revamping it. So I want to make sure that you guys get all that information. And with that being said, I want you guys out there to stay strong. Finish strong. Keep your head up, keep your shoulders back. It does get better. And I've been wanting to say this for a long time. We got your back. We got your back. But no, with all that being said, man, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Memories of Us. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode like I did, having this amazing conversation with Mario. And look forward, keep your eyes open to more episodes with him and everything. And look forward to me being on this show where I get to go over and be on number with him. Now, with that being said, you guys have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Until next time, stay strong.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of Memories of Us podcast. We couldn't have done it without all your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We have new episodes every Tuesday. You can check us out on all of your popular podcast platforms like Spotify or iHeartRadio. Until next time, stay strong.